everyone, and welcome to Annie Speaks. Today I wanted to focus on AI and internships. Now, why do I want to talk about this? I've had a number of personal friends reach out to me wondering and seeking answers to the question, how can I even find a job these days? A number of people I personally know have struggled to find jobs, have struggled to find internships across a variety of sectors, including psychology, law, teaching, engineering. The list goes on. And it seems like every day it's just becoming harder and harder for young people to break into industries that previously had quite a variety of positions available. And I'm talking mainly about the intern and the graduate level. So these sort of entry-level jobs that now are receiving an absolute waterfall of applicants for pretty much every job on the market. And it's just getting tougher and tougher to break into industries. So that got me thinking, why is this happening? I've been watching a number of podcasts from AI tech CEOs, including Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, OpenAI's Sam Altman, and more. I know I've seen a couple of the Diary of a CEO podcasts on this as well, and it seems like there's a general sentiment and understanding that a lot of this sort of grunt labor tasks that interns are generally were used to perform all the time and still do, but they're mostly being replaced by AI. And what I'm finding and noticing is that those interns or graduates with even a basic level understanding of AI models, or I guess you'd call it like prompt engineering or using AI, statistical analysis even, they are much further ahead than other applicants. And I think the answer to that is really clear and really simple. They're just quicker and more efficient when they get into the job. So I know that in pretty much every industry these days, AI is being used on some level, even if it's just admin, writing emails, drafting, putting together documents. It's really taken off. Is the entry-level career market actually going to disappear? I hope not. I think a lot of companies should still be investing in young employees and still putting aside time and effort to sort of upskill the next generation. But realistically, they don't necessarily have a big incentive to do this. And that makes a lot of commercial financial sense, right? Why would you pay and invest in someone to upskill when you can just hire someone who already has those skills? So I think we're seeing that a lot of industries are sort of tightening their grip on people that already have the skills, already have the know-how, and intern level, graduate level applicants those roles are actually diminishing. It doesn't seem like companies are hiring as much. So I started to do a little bit of Googling. Now, mind you, I haven't had the time to delve too deep into the research on this, but there's a number of studies that have come out recently, one called Canaries in the Coal Mine, 6 Facts about the Recent Employment Effects of Artificial Intelligence. This was about the regarding like ADP payroll data and some research from 2025 where workers in the age groups of 22 to 25 in like the most AI exposed occupations saw employment fall 16%, that's quite a lot. There's another study here from Harvard on economists Sayed Hosseini and Guy Lichtinger, and they were looking at resume and posting data on 66 million workers, and they found that the hiring at AI adopting companies fell roughly 80% since 2023, this is insane. These numbers are just absolutely massive. There's another study here from Anthropic around their like economic index where AI is fully replacing the work outright in more than 50% of interactions, the like entry-level occupation tasks. That's compared to 40% in senior occupations. So yeah, the gut feeling and my personal experience with this is being backed by some of these just cursory numbers, like a cursory glance at these numbers. And it's, yeah, it's clearly a significant impact on industry. Anthropic CEO Dario Amidi even said that AI could wipe out roughly 50% of all entry-level white-collar jobs within 5 years. That's an insane number, and it's frankly quite scary to hear. And there's a vast number of people who have not been able to acquire jobs, even though they've studied a long period of time to get a degree, and they're now not able to get into the industry of their choice because of the AI literacy aspect and hiring differences and changes in the job market. I mean, this is a massive shift, and it's really, I mean, it's called the AI revolution for a reason. So it's a problem of progression, really, because if you're not able to get a foothold in the door, AI is replacing the beginning for many people. It's replacing the stepping stone to further progression and a further career in that industry that many people have wanted to work in. And that's why they studied these degrees. I mean, it's really quite ridiculous. So you've seen, the job posting, you've seen the listing, and you know that there's probably about 800 people applying to that one job. And all of these CVs are being screened by AI these days. And it's frankly very, very difficult to be hired. So, what are we to do? What is the solution to this? I personally believe that everyone should be building some level of competence in AI skills, whether it be entry level, senior level, your middle managers, even, the highest tier CEOs of a company. I think everyone sort of needs to understand on some level how AI is functioning and how much it can speed up your daily tasks. So I think that there's that major point, and I think a lot of people that I've seen are actually investing in AI courses, learning those skills. I think those are great, but nothing really beats practice. But there is a massive sort of knowledge gap between what the average person knows about AI and sort of even what experts know about AI, and then the true experts that tech CEOs are willing to pay multiple millions of dollars a year for. But there's lots of knowledge gaps in the sector, which is why experts are so rare in this emerging AI field. So yeah, I think what I've noticed is that particularly at entry to mid levels, those people that know how to use AI not just to write emails, but to actually optimize efficiency, make tasks faster, make them simpler, make them more pretty if you're looking at the slides or you're looking at Excels, whatever it is. Even like reports, those are great. And AI can definitely make things more professional, reword, etc., etc. But those people that are learning to optimize the efficiency of tasks and workflows are really the ones that are getting ahead. Not just like your simple task prompting and returning outputs and things like that. So that's sort of, I think there's a level of AI literacy and fluency that everyone sort of needs to work on, no matter what level of like an of that you're applying to. And yeah, it's really important. And I think certain types or levels in businesses that I've observed certainly don't adopt it or aren't adopting it as quickly as they maybe should. So, especially at the more senior levels of businesses, I think there's gaps in the knowledge of how AI can simplify your work life and sort of take the pressure off those sort of menial tasks, more routine tasks that are taking an arm and a leg to finish in a day. And I think those are undervalued assets that a lot of people have not invested in and really should. Actually, ironically, it's kind of related to why I was inspired to start this channel in the first place. I think a lot of the AI craze is driving people to realize that real human connection is going to be so much rarer in the post-AI age, and that no one is going to be able to tell reality from fiction. And it's going to become much more valuable to see people in person and crucially to understand human relationships, communication, and building something real is going to be much more, at least I hope, valued in the post AI revolution age because we're not going to be able to believe anything that exists online really unless you know 100% that those people are real people. And even then, like deep faking is going to be so easy to do for for pretty much anyone. So I think shifting your focus towards skills that are not replaceable by AI is definitely something that can set you apart. And these include a lot of, say, soft skills, things that can't be automated. For example, like building relationships with people, super simple, but very hard for AI to replace. And that's something that's also very undervalued in a lot of industries. And I think a lot of young people don't understand just how much power they have in their lives to connect with other people. And that genuine connection is something that I feel definitely has been lost, but been lost a little bit by some people. But I think a lot of young people are recognizing the importance and the value of genuine human connection, which is really great. And I think that's a massive positive. And as a society, we should really be moving towards building more of those genuine connections and genuine appreciation for others and discourse and all of that, which is super important. So, long story short, these are some of my raw thoughts on internships, AI, entry level jobs, and how to stay resilient in a changing economy. And hopefully, we don't all get fired tomorrow. When the AI overlords take over, please be nice to me. So, anyway, all jokes aside, AI can seem really scary and really intimidating, but I think that the main differentiator we can have is understanding how to use AI effectively and understand that this is something that is not going to go away anytime soon. And we all sort of need to understand how to use AI, when to use AI effectively, and learn to use it in a way that is efficient and sustainable where we can be. AI has a massive cost to the environment. It has a massive cost to water resource use. It has a massive cost to electricity and heat emissions, etc. So there are definitely a lot of downsides, but it's not something that will go away anytime soon. And it is something that every industry is using. There's a lot in the space that we can explore, and I think having a basic level AI literacy is quite important in a professional industry these days. And I've seen it put many people much further ahead, which is, yeah, pretty interesting. And I think for me personally, I would like to see more of a shift towards, I guess, that pre-technology era skill set that people ha had more of before phones became a thing, I guess. More of that like social connection, human to human, genuine connection. And that's something I really want to explore in depth and get to the bottom of. So, yeah, some thoughts for the day, thoughts on AI, and that's about it. Thanks for tuning in.